Welcome to another episode of Full Circle with me, Onyx. And let's continue the journey of reconnecting to Source of all that is, the journey of clearing out our channel, healing our chakras, moving into oneness, cleansing, spiritual mastery. Let's just take the time to tune into ourself. Today, it's about dropping history. It's about emptying the cup. We fill our minds with information, and most problems is because we don't dump it out. We don't dump out the cup. We don't dump out our minds. Magic, mysticism, rides the edge between known and unknown. All that you have experienced on your journey, inside your mind, you create a hologram. This hologram talks, thinks, and lives a life. I call that hologram Agent Smith, after the Matrix. I believe his name is Agent Smith, who was hunting Neo and could shapeshift, could become anyone, find him anywhere within the Matrix, see through anyone's eyes. The voice in your head that's been living with you is actually your Agent Smith, your holographic matrix. It exists, coexists within your mind, but you are greater than Agent Smith. You're greater than the matrix, all the programming. Our agent at times takes over our lives, and we interact with the outer world, and the video game of life seems so real. Hence, in a way, we are programmed. In another way, we aren't. Certain characters interact with us and trigger automatic responses from our character, from the programming. Our history, everything that we identify with, is part of this programming. In order to navigate with other people, move your body, go to work, talk, communicate, exchange, we need some of our Agent Smith functional. But when it's time for spirituality or death, we disconnect from our agent. We dissolve it. We go to a place where we're not disturbed, into the unknown, into the unprogrammed, into the mysteries. That space in our mind that's free from descriptions, free from judgments, wants, needs, desires, impulses, impressions, striving, effort. Ambition. In the no thing, non-describedness, you find space. You find relief. You find healing. We live on ambition. I want, I need, I deserve. Are these things bad? No. We're here for a reason. Co-creating, co-playing. The Matrix actually exists for our entertainment. Seems hard to believe when others are so caught up in the Matrix, they forget they're a non form being. You can't actually exist in the Matrix, but the Matrix can exist in you. This is the shift. This is when Neo gained his godlike powers and could fly, stop bullets, freeze time and space, make alterations, bend the spoon. In the Matrix, the spoon didn't exist, but in reality, you don't exist. Because you do not exist, you are the only thing that's permanent. Just like the Buddha realized, a perfect reflection of the exact same story. Buddha realized his Agent Smith was Mara, the king of illusions. When Buddha realized he did not exist, he actually realized the Matrix only exists in him. Hence, he said, "When I wake up, the world wakes up." The journey is to reawaken and experience your infinite potential. I call the Matrix the dream of eternity. I don't know if there was an Asian movie, a book, or a video game. Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy. But these very sweet, romantic, poetic names really fits. Dream of eternity. Because I am the infinite one. On my journey through yoga training, through meditation, spirituality, I realized at a young age, I was doing this intense yoga, 3 times a day for a couple hours, really pushing my body. And all of a sudden, I almost cried. I had a small emotional release with a realization, a dread, a micro dread. I should have never started yoga if they told me it would end in death. If my achievements and all my goals, if everything I desired, like enlightenment, understanding, and knowledge, to become my true self, to experience my total power, I would have to die. And everything I was doing was accelerating my death. Every yoga pose was accelerating my death. Why was I doing this to myself? Why was I so dissatisfied? How come I didn't want anything in the world but to know? I had to know what the void was. I had to know what the nothing was that the Eastern philosophers were talking about. And even, I couldn't even conceptualize it. I just had this drive. And I just had to go with it. This urge was pulling me, whether I liked it or not, forcing me to be not very well in school, in social events, all kinds of things, because there was a need, and it was bigger than a paycheck. There was a need. It was bigger than friends, bigger than family, bigger than entertainment, bigger than my distractions. And unfortunately, I would say I went through a series of miniature deaths, miniature awakenings. How do you want your death? Do you want it really fast and we'll cut your head off? Or do you want it slow? Do you want to savor every little chop, 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 chop? Either way, if you real I learned there was equal exchange for this knowledge and this power, and I learned it was a death. And simultaneously, the paradox is I lost nothing. I didn't lose my friends. I didn't lose my family. I didn't lose the world. This is a very important point because on social media, they don't teach you how to come back to the matrix. It's not to save other people and wake them up. I'm not a savior. I'm not a prophet. That can happen, but it doesn't have to happen. Coming back to your body. It's not about self-abandonment. It's about integration. And when you integrate, you actually evolve the matrix. You change the storyline. We look in this timeline and we say this sucks. How do we change it? We move in between worlds. We cross the bridge from one world back to this world, from subconscious to conscious, from male to female, from yin to yang, from heaven to hell. We move, but we come back and we come back and we come back. And our body is the anchor. And this third dimension that people tend to demonize is the fruit of heaven. It is the dream of eternity, or the eternal dream. It is the gift. It is the final frontier. This is the outer limit. This is the edge when you flip it on its head. We start from the unknown. We start from nothing. And this is part of the manifestation. Is it moving back into the nothing, or is it still expanding out? We don't know. And now we go to the most important. So that was a lot of information. That was a lot of knowledge from my past experience. And eventually all knowledge is one. However, wherever you get it, eventually the same words will be spoken. The same universal truths. The God will be reborn, will be uncovered. The gift will be unwrapped. The eyes will open again. It could happen in any place, in any situation, on any path, at any time, in any story. You realize you have an awakening, you grow up. It's part of the program. It's part of the pattern, the spiral of evolution, whatever you like to call it. It's beautiful. The flower will bloom. So you can relax. And part of something so grand, something so true, something greater than yourself, probably has no words to describe it, no description. It's beyond. We can come close. And one way to get there real fast is to let go of needing to know anything. Your brain, your thinking, you don't need to exhaust yourself because it can't even comprehend. It doesn't have the bandwidth. It doesn't have the technology. It doesn't have the components to even process God, infinity, eternity, timelessness, multi-dimensions. It has limited capacity. Respect it. The limits of your body, the limits of your mind, the limits of you. Respect it. And as a strange paradox, you can obtain more. By doing less, you can be more. You know, by simplifying, you can understand the more complex things. So, Eastern philosophy has in it, I would say, over 1,000 years of eternal wisdom, of being patient, of going slow, of standing still, honoring your limits. Because to experience this matrix, okay, it's infinite of infinite possibilities. Anything and everything can happen. And it is all happening now. It's beyond our comprehension. But in order to experience it, we place limits. These limits allow it to be perceivable so we can experience it. So understand limits are good for you. They're not things to be overcome in a tradition, like in a Western mindset of busting through, going full force. You will have desire, you will have ambition, you will have drive, and you will try, and you will try. And we all do it. And at different points on the journey, it's encouraged. There's wisdom in knowing when that lesson is done and it's time to rest. It's time to receive. So the cup is filled, student. The cup is emptied, master. The cup is filled again, student. The cup is emptied, master. We play, so back and forth, yin and yang, oscillation, movement. It's all good. So this should help you relax. Honor where you're at now. We really cause ourselves emotional turmoil by trying to solve everything. And we really blow circuits out, We're pushing on the gas, thinking we're going to solve and fix and upgrade our lives and glow up and all this push. And then we push on the brakes by overanalyzing our past history, looking for where we went wrong, blaming other people in society, looking around in the 3D dimension, trying to uproot the programming, thinking that that's how you're giving too much task to your physical self, to the character that you are on stage. You're Neo. You're giving him too much responsibility. And, he is still wrestling with Agent Smith. The way to defeat it is through allowance, acceptance, surrender. So I accept Agent Smith exists. I accept Agent Smith has a function. It is to narrate, to catalog, to organize, to disseminate matrix information, and to kind of like keep me in line, and if I deviate, I'm going to get slapped. I'm going to get knocked around a bit at that level. I accept my character as Neo in the Matrix. As a part of the Matrix, I have to play my part. If I don't, Agent Smith will be right there, and the whole Matrix might turn on me. So I understand all this exists for a reason, and it all serves itself. It serves my character Neo. That's not important. Because I also realize I'm neither Neo. I'm not the Matrix. So all that I realize that I am and accept, which is the form of surrender. I accept the limitations. I accept this going on. But I also accept simultaneously on the other side of the corner of the coin that I am also the non-described, unprogrammable, eternal being, infinite being, timeless being. I was never born. I will never die. This is not my face. You know, I am the witness. I am the divine one. I am it. So I can relax and let stuff go. And if I'm going to take things personally on this level, what am I taking? Nothing. I accept the hologram. I accept the illusion. When I accept it is what it is, I can say, wow, that's intense. You know, it took a lot. So it's a collective organization of parts that make the movie run. Just like it took a team of animators to animate a movie, and it took playwrights, and it took editors, and it took hundreds of people to produce a movie. Of any, it took people together working as a team, going through different processes to produce a book. It takes a team effort to organize this thing into a body shape. Cells, food, the whole universe, it's a team effort to produce a body. You know, so I can honor it. I can be in wonder. I can be in dismay and horror. I don't need to judge it, is what I'm saying, honestly. Every moment is a miracle. A miracle is a natural phenomenon that you don't understand. So you can trust in something boundless, you know? And how much more do you need to know? You need, once you had your own experience of your infinite nature, that on one level you don't exist, and that, so what's really cool about this dystopian society, this disregard, this humiliation on a mass scale, attack every human, this destructive negative programming, is a backwards attempt to help you understand. It's not that you're worthless, helpless, and weak and victim. It's kind of like, get the message. You are nothing. You cannot be destroyed. And in that infinite realization, nothing can harm you. It's like a scary nightmare made real, as real as can be. But it's like a scary nightmare, and you can wake up from it. You can now stop the bullets. And, you can say, no more bullets, or stop. You can slow down time, take a break. You can let the movie pass you by. You can speed it up. You can slow it down. Time, frame by frame, the movie. There is, you can observe it like a piece of art. You're like, wow, I'm watching my shoulder get stabbed, and this person getting angry, and oh, dang, I guess I wish I learned self-defense. And now I'm looking at my body on the ground, and oh, dang, oh, what a cheap shot. He just stabbed me behind the back. Repeatedly? Come on, he was really angry. Oh, there's the ambulance. They can't resuscitate. They didn't even try to resuscitate me. They just put me in a body bag. They're checking my ID. Oh, I don't have any insurance. Dang. There's not a great enough profit uh, to resuscitate me. So, dang. Well, that was a unfortunate event. And here I am. And there my body goes. There's my Neo. He's gone. You know. And Agent Smith won today. The Matrix won. And I am still the Infinite One. I have no more body. I have no more story. Oh well. It wasn't such a big deal. So people assume they're afraid of death. Death is the liberator. Death holds the keys to the mysteries. And so you could say, in one hand, he holds a ring that has many keys. On the other hand, he holds a scale. You know. Yes, he is the Reaper. So probably with the keys, he's holding his sickle, his scythe, however you call it. And for every ounce of knowledge, for every key that will open up a door, on that scale, you're gonna pay. And what does death want but your life? You're gonna pay. And that's okay. Because it's like a portal. You die and you are reborn. There's that moment of chaos because you don't understand. The transformation. There is no death, there's only transformation. Okay? All energy is here, can't really go anywhere, so all it can do is transform. This is what the ancients have said. This is what modern science tells us. You know, and we know so little. So thanks for this like wild conversation we had. This kind of is a sum total of everything I've been thinking about. My own realizations, my friends. It's like if we would give up the struggle and of death, if we would stop fearing death and shake its hand, talk to death, you know, death is one of the greatest teachers. And we have a warped way of dealing with death's fingerprints, you know, those actions. If you knew that death could happen in any moment, that scale that he's holding, the balancing scales of Libra, there is such thing as loving too much, being too attached to friends, family, loved ones. We think I need to show my love through holding on harder, through giving more, overextending myself, burning myself out, giving, doing, or receiving. But if you knew death was right there at every moment, you know, you love your dog, but it can go like that. You love your lover. It can go like that. You're not prepared for death. You're ignoring death. You're not allowing him to be your guide every moment of every day. You're not seeing the transformation and the new life death brings. If you make this forefront in your life, you can handle the tragedies of your life. So I got fired from my job. My response: I don't care. I feel free. I feel great. That was the unexpected response. Not the distorted, I don't care, because, F the world and dystopian society and self deprecation. No, it was this positive, I don't care. I don't care because I know who I am. I feel who I am. I feel connected to life. I see this as an opportunity for change. I look at what was going on in that situation and I knew I wasn't going to stay. I was going to walk out weeks ago. So it's just the universe helping me. So why would I even play the game of, well, why would I pretend loss? There was no losers in this game. I'm not going to judge it. Instead, I'm going to flow with it. Wow. Was I scared? No, not really. So I'd say that's my most recent death. Another death that's on its way is the death of my father. It's a tough battle watching him. He's a great, powerful person, very strong person. And for his body to age and break down the way it's doing isn't, it's horrible. It's painful. And I look forward to his death, for his liberation. He's a powerful soul, and God bless him. I don't need to hold on to memories. He's right here with me, in the nothing, in the oneness, in the interconnectedness. You know, his soul and my soul are one. I'm not missing anything. I don't need the puppet on stage. I'm the one who wrote the play. I'm a part of the one. You know, when my first dog died, I didn't even care. When my next dog died, I didn't even care. There was no remorse in my eyes. There was no tears of sorrow. My third dog, yeah, there really was. How could you, Onyx? You're so cruel. No, I cried for 7 years for my third dog, who was my best friend as well. Those were tears of loss, tears of joy, tears of gratitude, tears of self blame, all kinds of stuff. But where is my dog? With me. So quit wasting your time being afraid of death. It's truly a celebration. All your deaths,